In connection with her disappearance, Darian Vance is accused of tampering with human remains, even though no body has been found. Maleah Davis was last seen more than a week ago. Maleah is in Houston with the latest details of this investigation. Maleah, good morning.
Well, good morning. The Assistant District Attorney here in Harris County says there is a substantial likelihood that Darian Vance will face additional charges, possibly including murder. But so far, investigators have not publicly said if they believe Vance killed Maleah. This morning, investigators will once again scour areas of Houston for Maleah Davis. Tim Miller is helping lead the search for the missing 4-year-old.
I would like to hold on to that hope that she's alive out there somewhere.
Darian Vance reported Maleah missing more than a week ago. The 26-year-old was arrested on Saturday after investigators found new clues inside the Southwest Houston apartment where he lived with Maleah and her mother. Drops of blood linked to Maleah and evidence someone tried to clean it up. A Houston TV station says these surveillance photos show Vance entering the apartment on April 30th, with Maleah just steps behind him, but she was never seen coming out. More photos reportedly show Vance leaving the apartment 3 days later while carrying what prosecutors describe as a blue laundry basket with a garbage bag and bottles of bleach. Prosecutors say investigators found a blue laundry basket and a gas can inside the car Vance claims was stolen from him by 3 men with Maleah inside. Prosecutors also say cadaver dogs detected the scent of human remains inside the car.
Please help me find her. Please.
Civil rights activist Quanell X represents Maleah's mother, Brittany Bowens. He describes Vance as Bowens' ex-fiancé and says Bowens recently called off the engagement.
When that happened, I believe that he psychologically snapped. Already on top of being abusive to Maleah, he did this to hurt the mother in a way that she would never recover.
Vance is in jail on a $1 million bond and has a court-appointed attorney. Court documents obtained by our CBS partners KHOU report that Maleah was removed from the home last year after Child Protective Services actually thought there may have been abuse inside that home by the parents. Now, police tell us that Vance multiple times has changed his story about her disappearance.
Thank you, Maleah. The story makes me so sad and so angry, too.
Yes.
We thought at the beginning there was something fishy when he told the story about his little boy was found and the little girl is missing. And when you see the pictures of her going in after him and appearing to come out, what looks like a laundry basket.
There are security cameras everywhere.
Yeah, it's very, very upsetting.
4-year-old Maleah Davis. There's been no sign of her since Friday when her stepfather claims they were kidnapped by 3 men near Bush Airport. But he says he and his son were let go the next day in Sugar Land. Houston police releasing new photos of the stepfather's car today, the one he says the kidnappers stole. Now, you've been asking us a lot of questions about Maleah. One of them is this: why did she have brain surgery a few months ago?
Our investigative team spent the last few days going through court records and discovered the answer. But in order to explain what happened, we have to reveal some family issues, some allegations of abuse. And we are sharing this information not to point a finger at one person or try to influence public opinion, but to be transparent about what we've learned and to answer a question you've been asking. Here's investigative reporter Cheryl Mercedes with what she discovered.
You can't deny the pure joy that jumps off of 4-year-old Maleah's face in the pictures that have been in the public eye since her disappearance. Those were perhaps the happier days. Court records we uncovered paint a darker picture of the little girl's life over the last several months. Documents we obtained from the Harris County clerk show that last August, the Department of Family and Protective Services received a report alleging physical abuse and neglectful supervision of Maleah. She was living with her mother, Brittany Bowens, and stepfather, Darian Vance, at the time. The state got involved after Maleah's mother brought her to the hospital with a head injury. Doctors had to do surgery to remove half of her skull. When Maleah got out of ICU, doctors ordered that she wear a helmet for 12 to 24 months while she healed. But that was not Maleah's first trip to the ER. According to records, 3 weeks earlier on July 10th, Bowens took Maleah to the ER after she was throwing up blood. Doctors reported Maleah was extremely lethargic. Maleah was treated and sent home. The very next week, on July 28th, Maleah was back in the hospital for a cut to her forehead. Medical professionals reported she had blood just outside of her brain. Neither parent was able to tell doctors what could have caused it. Bowens said she was hurt after falling from a chair, but medical professionals said that would not have caused the serious internal injuries. Doctors reported they were concerned about abuse, but in the end, the court found they could not confirm whether or not those injuries were caused by abuse. The CPS caseworker noted she had reason to believe there was neglectful supervision on Brittany Bowens' part, but nothing more. Child Protective Services has had temporary custody of Maleah since August, but they confirm she and her siblings were placed with a relative in February. The court ordered that Maleah's parents take a parenting class. According to those records, neither has done so. A judge revisited the case back in April. It's set to go back to court on May 22nd. Cheryl Mercedes, KHOU 11 investigates.
And we are going to stay on top of the search and bring you any new developments as they come in, on air, online as well. You can also read more about her disappearance, how you can volunteer in the search effort, and find pictures to share on social media as we try to help bring her home.
Shows Darian Vence and Maleah at a Southwest Houston apartment complex walking. According to an HPD source, it is the last known photo of Maleah.
And court documents say the second picture shows Vence on the same day leaving without Maleah. Meanwhile, Vence, the child's stepfather, was scheduled to be back in court this morning but did not appear.
And that is where we find Channel 2's Kathy Hernandez. She joins us live with the latest from a news conference held outside of the classroom. Kathy?
Good morning. This has been a very emotional case for family members and community members, people who didn't even know Maleah but are now seeking justice for the 4-year-old girl. Meanwhile, her stepfather remains behind bars. As you said, his court appearance has been reset, but it was a very crazy scene there in the courthouse this morning. Take a look at this picture. This is a surveillance picture of Darian Vence leaving his apartment with his son the evening of May 3rd. This is all according to sources. Investigators believe he's carrying a bottle of bleach. Sources say this is around the time Vence told police he, his son, and Maleah were all headed to the airport to pick up Maleah's mother. And community members shouted at Maleah's mother as she walked out of the courtroom in the last hour. Family members and supporters all came here for Vence's court appearance. He's charged with tampering with evidence, namely a human corpse. Both Maleah's mother and her biological father, family members, they're the cousin of the biological father, they were here.
He's not here because right now it's too much. It's too early for him to consume. And honestly, I would prefer that he got himself together before he came and listened to the details of this case.
The main thing right now that all of us want to know is what did he do with Maleah? The bottom line.
And take a look at this picture as well. This is from April 30th, and it is the last time police saw Maleah on surveillance cameras. It appears she's wearing a pink tutu and following Vence into the apartment. 4 days later, her stepfather, also in that picture, reported her missing. Maleah, again, is still missing. Right now, many people are continuing the search to find her and to bring her justice. Reporting live in downtown Houston, Kathy Hernandez, KPRC.